Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of My Lineup. As you all know by now, the teams have been on a break. Some teams have played this weekend and they're gonna go for a break next week. But for us, we've been on a break. The players have been in Dubai, really enjoying themselves. Nicolas Pepe posted a picture on Instagram, clearly having a kind of started from the bottom kind of video shoot. It was crazy. Aubameyang looks like he's enjoying himself in Dubai, as obviously all the players are looking really happy. So I guess the break was really good for the players, and some time to think, some time to get some more confidence going. Just a break out of England, just think about other things and just come back fresh. So I guess the break has been nice for the players, and luckily for us, we've seen Kolasinac back training, Kieran Tierney's back training, Pablo Mari looks fit to me. Also Cedric is doing some gym, probably gonna be fit in like maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks, not quite sure. But really happy for the players. I hope they come back with real confidence. And Newcastle themselves, I've also seen Miguel Almiron in Dubai, so really having fun, the players. I really hope we come back the better of the two teams. So this is the battle of the two stubborn owners, Stan Kroenke and Mike Ashley, the two owners that have refused to sell the clubs. At least Mike Ashley actually attends the football games. Stan Kroenke has never attended a football game, so for them it's they actually on top of us, because they actually have a owner who actually attends the game. Even though they want him out, at least he actually attends the game and he's actually willing to sell the club. He's just saying he hasn't got any suitable buyers and all that, but our owner, I've never heard from him, so I guess they have the better deal from the two. So Arsenal versus Newcastle, I'm going to take a look at our previous 10 meetings and all the history between the two teams. We've definitely had a better record than them. From the last 12 games, we've managed to keep, I think, 6 clean sheets or something like that. And they've only beaten us twice since 2010. That was the Andy Carroll header at the Emirates Stadium in 2010, and Wenger's last season where we were losing every single away game and we went there and took the lead, but they still beat us. So we've had the better record from the last like 20 years probably. In the 90s, I think they had the better of us because they really had a good team. But right now, the last 20 years, 10 years, we've dominated them. So I'm going to take a look at all the games we played against them in the last 4 or 5 seasons. And I'm going to start with the first game this season, 2019-2010, the first game, 11th of August. We traveled to St. James's Park and we managed to get a 1-0 victory. Aubameyang scored in the second half. It was a good steal and run from Maitland-Niles and a good cross from him. In that game, we actually had a midfield of Willock, Nelson and Mkhitaryan, players who are nowhere to be found in the team or in the first team right now. So it was a good victory. It was a 1-0 victory, a clean sheet. That will be a theme. The next game is 2018-2019 season, sorry. We first traveled against St. James's Park. We beat them 2-1 at their place. Xhaka scored a fantastic free kick. I think that was the first of the many games we went for unbeaten. I think 22-23 games. That was like the third, 4th game. Xhaka scored a free kick and Ozil actually scored. I think that was Ozil's last goal since. So it was a good game, that one too. They scored in the 92nd minute, could have easily been a clean sheet for us. And again, the goals came in the second half, just like this season. The first game at the Emirates Stadium, we beat them 2-0. Ramsey scored and Lacazette scored. God, how I miss Ramsey. Ramsey scored in the first half and Lacazette scored in the second half, and we kept another clean sheet again. Before that, in 2017-2018, they came to the Emirates Stadium first. That is a game I remember watching alongside Thierry Henry when he came to Kenya. It was awesome, an awesome experience. We managed to get a 1-0 victory, and Ozil actually scored again. So Ozil actually has a good record against Newcastle. That win took us to 4th position, a dream right now. I mean, we are far from that. And Ozil actually got the man of the match for that game. When you travel to their place in April, they beat us 2-1. That was Wenger's last game at Newcastle. Perez scored for them and Richie scored for them. Lacazette got our goal yet again. In the 2016-2017 season, they had been relegated. They were playing in the championship, so obviously no game there. In the 2015-2016 season, again, we traveled to their place first. We managed to get a 1-0 victory. Chamberlain with a shot that was deflected in by Colosini, given as an own goal. And Mitrovic got a red card in that game for them. And that was the third goal of that season for us. And it was the second own goal. So at that time, we were really struggling for goals. Yet again, our goal came in the second half. At our place, we beat them 1-0 at Trent. That was the third victory, fourth 1-0 victory from those 6 games I've talked about. Koscielny scored, another person who really enjoyed playing against Newcastle, and we managed a 1-0 victory. He scored in the 72nd minute, another second half goal. In the 2014-2015 season, they visited the Emirates Stadium first. We managed a 4-1 victory. Giroud got a brace and Cazorla got a brace. Cazorla had a Panenka penalty to score the 4th goal. Perez had scored for them at 2. He has actually scored 2 or 3 goals against us. In that day we had Debussy, Matasaka, Gibbs, Kokalin, Podolski, Campbell. You remember Campbell? Who else misses Campbell? I think he had an unfortunate time at Arsenal. At their place, we managed a 2-1 victory. Giroud scored twice again, and Sissoko scored for them in the second half, but it ended up being a convincing win for us. That game got us our 6th successive win that season. In the 2013-2014 season, again, in December, traveled to Newcastle. Giroud got a winner. At the Emirates Stadium, got a 3-0 victory, another clean sheet. Koscielny scored yet again, Ozil scored yet again, and Giroud scored yet again. So Ozil, 3 goals against Newcastle. Also Koscielny, 3 goals against Newcastle, and Giroud actually got 8 goals and 2 assists against Newcastle. The season before that, we beat them again 1-0. Koscielny scored in the last 5 minutes that clinched the Champions League position for us. We were actually battling Tottenham that time, and if we actually didn't win that game and Tottenham won theirs, they would have qualified for the Champions League ahead of us. That season at our place, we had a crazy game where we beat them 7-3. Walcott got 3 or 4 goals. I don't actually remember, but it was a very crazy game. I remember Walcott scoring, Giroud scoring. And we've had crazy games again, a 4-4 draw at their place, but we've had very many victories, especially with clean sheets. So from the last 12 games, we've won 6 games by the 1-0 scoreline. 1-0 to the Arsenal. So 1-0 in the 6 times 1-0 in the last 12 games, and 4 of them were away from home and 2 of them were at our place. 8 clean sheets too in the last 12 games against Newcastle. So very, very positive history. Looking good for us. So I can't complain about that. I just hope we can keep up the history right now. I'm not quite sure you can keep a clean sheet, but with Pablo Mari in the team now, maybe Cedric, maybe Kolasinac is fit, I would expect at least a win. A win would be great for us. Not that it's gonna take us to the top 4, no, but it's gonna be at least a confidence booster, especially considering we have, I think, West Ham after that. You're gonna have Brighton. So many winnable games. Probably gonna end up as draws, but so many winnable games. But for now, let me show you guys what my lineup would be for the game, and here it goes. In goal, obviously, Leno keeps his place. In defense is where it really gets interesting. Pablo Mari is fit. Kolasinac may be fit from the pictures we've seen. Bellerin is back. Niles is available. Mustafi is available. Luiz, Socrates are all available. But my back four would be Kolasinac at left back, Bellerin at right back, Pablo Mari to make his debut, and Mustafi also at partner him. Mustafi has been really good the past 2-3 games. Since his mistake against Chelsea, he's been solid, so I'd stick him in again for that game. Luiz, Socrates, not quite sure about them. For me, I want Luiz to be pushed forward to the midfield. Pablo Mari, if there's a game he can make his debut in, it's a home game against Newcastle, so I'd throw him in for that one. At defensive midfield, I'd put Xhaka and Torreira. Torreira unfortunately got dropped in the last game. He's been probably the best player under Arteta so far, so unlucky for him to be dropped, but he got arrested anyway. So I'd bring him back for this one. Ahead of them, again, it also gets interesting. We could have Lacazette, we could have Martinelli, we could have Pepe, Ceballos, Ozil, Willock. But many people are going to thinking about dropping Lacazette and dropping Ozil, and I'm actually going to go for the same. I'm going to start Ceballos in behind Aubameyang, Martinelli on the left and Pepe on the right. For me, Lacazette, this is the one game I'm going to drop him for. Since we also have a Europa League game that same week, that is also a reason for that. You're going to play Olympiacos, and we need the likes of Lacazette fresh, maybe Ozil fresh. You're going to go away to the Olympiacos, and Lacazette definitely hasn't been scoring the goals. So I think it's only right to give him a rest for this one and then bring him back for the Olympiacos game and see if he's going to get the goals. Aubameyang as a center forward, switching with Martinelli, I think we can get 2 or 3 goals in that one. So let me run through the squad again. Leno in goal, a back four of Kolasinac, Pablo Mari, Mustafi, Bellerin, a midfield of Xhaka, Torreira, in front of them Martinelli, Ceballos and Pepe, and in front of them obviously Aubameyang, the captain. We'd also have a very strong bench. Ozil, Nelson would be on the bench, Willock, also Lacazette will be on the bench, Guendouzi will be on the bench, and not forgetting that we have a Europa League game, an FA Cup game coming up, so it's actually a good time to rotate the players. But Lacazette anyway, I think he needed a rest, needed a break of, for 1-2 games to see whether he's going to come back stronger. My prediction for this game would be Arsenal 2, Newcastle 0. Going for, by the history, many clean sheets and many 1-0, 2-0 victories. That would be my prediction. Let me know what your prediction is. Thanks for supporting and thanks for watching.